Hello, and welcome to a local episode of the Drywall Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Harmon. With us today, a local legend, Jack Smothers of Fresco Harmony, the one, the only. Jack and I dive into his experience in the trade, working as a poker dealer at the casino, and maybe almost getting into a fight.
Players drink a lot, and when they start losing, they get pretty ugly.
Sure.
And as dealers, they have a rule that we just have to smile and take it. Whatever they say, they can say whatever they want to us, and we have to smile and take it.
Okay.
And I'm not good at that.
Okay.
So there was one time a guy said something nasty to me, and I asked him if he wanted to go outside after my shift.
Yeah.
So he went up and told the manager.
Wait, before Jack continues on with the story, Jack boxes too on the side.
Back in the day, when I was younger.
So you're politely asked the guy if he'd like to discuss this out back or something.
Yeah. So instead of saying yeah, sure, he went up to the manager and said I was threatening to beat him up.
What a
So I got reprimanded and warned.
Yeah.
And then probably a month later, it happened again with somebody else.
What was he saying to you that made you want to take him out back and kick his ass?
He just called me a pussy for being a lousy dealer, giving him bad cards. Because the dealer has everything.
You had control.
I have the control. Yeah.
What kind of cards?
If I did have control, he would have never won a hand ever.
I've worked on and off with Jack for the last 9 years. He's a great guy and a good friend, and I'm excited for you to hear this episode of the Drywall Podcast. The Drywall Podcast in the month of July is brought to us by GWI, supplying the UK with drywall finishing products since 2021. They are delivering quality brands nationwide. You can check them out on Facebook, Instagram, or online at www.gwiltd.com for all your finishing needs. Guests of the Drywall Podcast will receive a sweet swag bucket from CSR in Toronto, full of all kinds of awesome drywall goodies. But for now, the very knowledgeable and amazing Jack Smothers on this, the 58th episode of the Drywall Podcast. Let's get into it. Okay. We've got Jack Smothers live and in person here from beautiful Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're outside. Temperature's like 100. It's over 100. We just did an ice bath, so we're feeling good. Got ice bath right there. This is at my house in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Jack has agreed to do a podcast here, quasi. I talked him into it. 58, episode 58. And Jack, just for reference, was, you listened to some of the first podcasts. You were kind of like my my go-to critic when I was first doing the podcast. I was like, hey man, can you listen to some of these podcasts and tell me if they're any good? And you listened to a couple and you're like, yeah, they're pretty good, man. You listened to them all, and that kind of helped me continue and keep going. But Jack's on a lot of the Fresco Harmony videos that I do when we're going live and talking about Fresco Harmony and doing stuff. So for a while I've wanted to interview Jack, and so here we are in beautiful Albuquerque. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's been fun. All right, see ya.
Jack Smothers. We've known each other for how long now? 10
Since
years?
14.
14. So 9 years? And how did you know that so quickly off the bat like that?
Because that was when I worked at the casino. At the same time I was wanting to quit the casino.
Right.
I seen your ad in yeah.
Craigslist, I think.
It must have been Craigslist.
It's like the only thing I've ever posted on
Yeah.
Craigslist. Yeah, and Jack pulled up, you pulled up, and you had a van exactly like mine. Chevy Astro cargo van. And I was like, dude, this guy's hired, man. 2 Astro cargo vans.
Destiny.
Yeah, it was Destiny. And I think I started you at $12 an hour. The meager small amount.
I was really desperate.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit. So prior to that, though, you were working at a casino, but you had done drywall. Let's go through the timeline. I mean, are you first generation drywaller? How did you get into it?
No, my dad, he was a drywall painter.
I did not know that. See, there's all this stuff that we're going to discover about Jack.
Yeah.
So he was a drywall painter. And did you work with him at all?
Yeah, he taught me the basics of it.
Okay.
Right out of high school.
Okay. So right out of high school.
Rather than go to work at McDonald's, I
Yeah.
went and helped him.
And he was running his own business at
He
the
was. He was working for a company and kind of doing stuff on his own at the same time.
time? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
he's kind of doing side hustle.
Yeah, yeah. So he'd take me out and I'd where you start fire taping like
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
spotting screws, and I didn't mind it. I kept on with it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I did. I don't think I liked it.
You didn't,
I didn't like it.
too
I didn't
much.
like
It was
it.
hard.
It was hard work.
But you kept with it.
But I didn't want to work in fast food or
Fast food.
yeah.
And the money was okay, right?
Money was all right.
The old man paid you all right?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't expect too much learning. It wasn't really much of a benefit to him in the beginning.
Yeah. Did you like working with your dad?
Yeah, we got along really good.
Okay.
Yeah, he was really easygoing. I liked him a lot.
And were your mom and your dad together at
Mhm.
that point?
Yep.
They were.
Mhm.
They were together until the end.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. And you have a sister.
Mhm.
Okay. And so you also were married at a certain point in time. How, just to establish the timeline, how old were you when you got married after working for your dad? And she worked in the casino also, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got married in 2004.
Okay.
Yeah.
2004. And you started working with your dad.
Oh, 91 or 2 or 3, something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, way back.
You're
In high school.
How old are you?
40 something.
You're 40. Are we the same age?
I think I've got a couple on you.
You got a couple on me.
Yeah.
Interesting. Shoot, there's not too many people I'm older than now. And then, what else? So you got married in 2004, so you've been working for a little bit at that time. How long did you work with your dad for?
Oh, probably 5 years, I'd say.
Okay. And
Well, let's see, no, 2 years, I think, because in 95, he moved to Arizona,
okay.
and I stayed here because I had a girlfriend.
Okay.
Terrible, terrible mistake.
Terrible mistake. That wasn't your wife.
No.
No.
And then I continued working on, I actually went to work with the drywall company that my dad was working with.
What was the name of those guys?
That was Century.
Century. And they're
Century Drywall.
still around, correct? No?
They closed their doors in 15.
And 15. Okay. All right. And did you ever learn the automatic tools, or were you always a hand tool guy?
The almost 99% of the guys were hand finishers.
First Century.
Yes.
Okay. Banjos?
We worked by the hour. Nobody would get out tools if they're working by the hour.
Okay. Too fast.
They're like, you got to milk the job.
Yeah, you got to milk it out there a little bit if you're working hourly.
Yeah, but I learned, I know how to, a little bit, the boxes and everything but the bazooka. I didn't
never learned the
didn't
bazooka.
get proficient at that.
Okay.
No.
And why would you use the boxes?
When we did piecework jobs, I got partnered up with a guy who had the tools and sent us out to a house, and got to get it done as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So,
what did you think of the tools when you first used them?
they were kind of clunky, but once I got a feel for them, can't compete with the tools.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time though, or
Fast?
did you
I picked it up pretty fast.
Okay, you had a little background in mudding and stuff like that.
I knew how the joint was supposed to look.
What about texture? So were you doing texture?
No, because when we was working for the company, there was a texture guy dedicated. Okay. All he did was texture. So you get the job ready for him, call him up, and he comes out and textures.
Fly's bugging you. Sorry about that. I wish we could. I wish something we could do. I need a fly swatter out here, but we're dealing with the elements here. It's although I feel good now, like it's hot here, hot.
Starting to warm up.
But that ice bath, so the ice bath right now is down about 47 degrees. Still very cold to go in the ice bath at 47 degrees.
It's chilly.
It feels amazing in the heat, the juxtaposition between the cold ice bath and the extreme heat that we're getting right now in Albuquerque and everywhere all over the country. I mean,
summer.
Yeah, it's summer, so it's hot. So we got flies, we got heat. Jack and I are just chilling out here. We got a little week off. Maybe something next week for Mock. Back over at Mock's house to do some Patterson snow over there. Jack's done. I don't want to jump ahead, but 1,000 square feet. You've done a bunch now. Fresco Harmony.
Yeah, we're at like 5 or 6 jobs.
500 or 600 jobs. We've done. Gosh, I wonder how many we've done this year. You were on the one for a long time. Whole house. Jack just did a whole
12 weeks.
Yeah, Ricardo and I were trying to think about how long you took on that house, and we were like, probably all together 3 months. An entire 5,000 square foot house, walls and ceilings, Patterson snow, sanded, and we did regular base coat and then sanded. A bunch of live videos on that one, but we did ice baths at that house, so that was the tail end of fall.
That was
or spring.
No. Yeah, spring. It was snowing.
It was snowing.
And ice. Remember that you had to break the ice to
they
get
had,
into it?
They had what they call a cocktail pool, so a small pool that, I think I encouraged Jack to go into the pool. I was like, I'm going to come up here. I'm going to go ice bath in that pool, and you did it though.
I didn't think I was going to do it,
but you did it.
Yeah.
And then you were
and I was like,
you were hooked after that. You were like, this is okay.
Feels really good. Yep. Once you get out, it feels really good.
Yeah, it feels especially good in the heat, but the ice.
We did it in the winter. Yeah, I had to break the ice to get into it.
Yeah, it's more like when you're.
That's hardcore.
When you do it in the winter, it's like, yeah, it's hard. It's harder for sure. More discipline. So going back to the timeline, you worked with your dad for a little bit. You got married. You're working for Century Drywall. How was it paying for like Century? And what happened? How come you weren't with Century? How come you went back to the casino? And what were you doing at the casino?
At the casino, I was a poker dealer.
Okay, like Hold'em.
Yeah.
Okay.
Texas Hold'em.
All right. Are you good at Hold'em if you play other people? I've got a poker game I should invite you to.
I've only played a couple of times. I don't know what I'm doing really, so you'd probably take advantage of me. But I don't mind losing if you want to invite me.
Sure. Justin would have a field day with you. There's one guy that hosts
play for fun.
The one guy that hosts the game. He always wins. Like he's pretty good. I'll take third or fourth. I've taken first once.
You playing a tournament?
It's like tournament style. Yeah, there's generally 6 or 7 dudes, and winner take all. I think second gets like 50%.
You get a little bit for
you get a little bit for runner up. So, how come the casino? How'd you hook up with that job?
Well, my wife at the time, she worked at another casino, not the one that I was working at. And we hosted poker games every week, once or twice a week actually. And
at your house?
At my house.
Okay.
And
you make a little bit of money hosting poker games?
Well, no, not really. I went.
No, just for fun.
It was just
friends and family.
The winners tip the dealer.
Okay.
Like if you have a dedicated dealer, then.
But it wasn't tournament style.
Yes, it was.
It was tournament style. So people would come. They pay $20.
We did. We started off at 20. And there at the end, we were buy-in was $40.
The buy-in was $40.
And we had 3 tables, so we averaged between 20 and 30 players.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so you had to have a bunch of tables set up.
Had 3.
3 tables, 7 people per table?
No, we were cramming in. When we had a bunch of people, we could fit 10. I custom built the tables myself, so they were bigger than the average table.
Crazy.
So you could fit 10 people.
Crazy. And you'd have like 3 tables of 10 people, like, or two tables of 10, 1 table of 8 or 7.
And then sometimes we'd only have. Well, we'd always have at least 2 tables.
At least 2 tables.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that does sound pretty fun.
A lot of drinking.
Yeah.
And for the most part, everyone was pretty cool. Got a few rowdies.
Yeah.
Kind of put a damper on.
People lost some money, got upset ever?
No, not. We didn't really have any sore losers. They were experienced players.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of dealers from the casinos would come and play. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So your wife worked at the casino. She hooked you up with a job. So there was a period in time there where you moved away from drywall and you went and worked at the casino. Why did you do that?
I was sick of drywall.
You got sick
of construction.
Yeah. You still kind of don't like it very much. Jack does nothing but Fresco Harmony. The gravy grabbing, the wonderful Fresco Harmony, and he could just take it or leave it. Like it's still work. Don't kid yourself. It's work. Yeah, oh yeah. And especially when you get the kind of volume and footage that I throw.
12 weeks.
I throw at you.
Job.
Yeah. The good stuff. Stuff.
Yeah, I had to take a break from
that.
So I did the casino for 2 years.
Okay.
And then.
And that's when you started to look for a drywall job again, or what happened?
Well, I got asked to leave. I was going to.
You were skimming from the table.
No, you got cameras. They were watching every move.
Oh, I'm
every
sure.
Move. You can't get away with nothing.
No.
But a lot of the players drink a lot, and when they start losing, they get pretty ugly.
Sure.
And as dealers, they have a rule that we cannot. We just have to smile and take it. Whatever they say, they can say whatever they want to us, and we have to smile and take it.
Okay.
And I'm not good at that.
Okay.
So there was one time a guy said something nasty to me, and I asked him if he wanted to go outside after my shift.
Yeah.
So he went up and told the manager.
Wait, before Jack continues on with this story, Jack boxes too on the side.
Back in the day, when I was younger.
So you're like, You politely asked the guy if he'd like to discuss this out back or something.
Yeah, so instead of saying, yeah, sure, he went up to the manager and said I was threatening to beat him up.
What a
so I got reprimanded and warned.
Yeah.
And then probably a month later, it happened again with somebody else.
What was he saying to you that made you want to like take him out back and kick his ass?
He just called me a pussy for being a lousy dealer, giving him bad cards. Because the dealer has everything.
You had control.
I have the control. Yeah.
What kind of cards?
If I did have control, he would have never won a hand ever. Yeah, I would definitely pick and choose who wins and loses.
Sure.
Nothing's worse is having to lose. You deal to a guy that you don't like, and he doesn't like you, then he doesn't tip you.
Right.
All of our money was off of tips. So as dealers, we had players that we rooted for. We really wanted to. Yeah.
Sure.
Like, please win this hand. Please win this hand.
Yeah.
Didn't always work that way though.
Right.
So, but yeah, a month later it happened again, and it was asked to leave. So
what'd you do? You just it happened again. Somebody pissed you off again, and you asked them to go out back again, or you said something and they went and told on you. They went and tattled on you.
Basically the same thing.
Same thing.
I was like,
And you didn't
if
care.
I told him,
you were like, keep my job, don't keep my job. I don't care.
I think what I said is like, one of these days I'm going to run into you out in public.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be confined by these rules.
You're not going to have this table to protect you, buddy.
And I guess he ran off and told some people, or some other people told, and that dealer's got an attitude or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't like to be talked about. No one should be able to have to put up with that. But it was a horrible. It started off pretty good. The money was good.
Okay.
And sometimes when you got a bunch of players at the table, laughing, we're all having a good time, then it's great.
Okay.
It's great.
So it's love-hate. But after that experience, you were asked to leave, and you're like, screw it. I'm going to go back to drywall?
Yeah, I didn't really have much options because that's all I've ever done before.
Okay, and that's when you found the...
And I was like, what should I do? Should I look for a company or whatever? I was looking in there, and I seen your ad. Can't remember what I said, but I remember something about colored stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And that was interesting because I had done some Venetian and some other plaster work, so I liked doing that more than drywall. So
okay. What type of Venetian did you do?
What do you mean? What type?
Well, there's a lot of different types of plaster.
Well, I didn't do.
What were you doing?
The synthetic.
They sell here. So a while back, when I first came to Albuquerque, which was around 2004, I started to do Fresco Harmony, and there was a company that was just starting up at the time called Variance. Variance did acrylic finish systems, and also I think American Clay was also starting here in Albuquerque. Unbeknownst to me, those two companies stem from Albuquerque. American Clay is all over the globe.
Yeah, they really grew.
They grew quick. Variance, I think, grew a little bit, but I don't think it was as favorable as American Clay, maybe, or they didn't have as good a marketing. I don't know. But you happen to do both of those finishes, right? So who did you do the Venetian plaster for?
Our company sent, when I was working for the Century Drywall, they sent me to do some training at Variance.
Okay.
To learn their plasters. They were thinking about...
Why you? Why did they choose you?
Because I was the best.
Okay.
And I spoke English.
And you could understand the trainer. heavy Hispanic labor force here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Just for clarification there.
Yeah.
So you spoke English, and their variants trainer guy, I think, was Rob's like nephew, right?
What was his name? I forget his name.
So
they had a couple of trainers.
Rob Knight. Rob Knight was the owner of Variants at
Rob
the time.
was there.
He owned L&P.
I remember him.
And how was the training? How was the training for that product?
I loved it. I loved it.
You loved it.
I loved it.
What'd you like about it?
I loved it.
And Jack still does. You still do derivatives of Variants to this day, or Variants, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can go over to L&P.
Yeah, I go over there.
Get products.
Just finished up doing a job with that.
With the synthetic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's pretty rare. Not a lot of people are doing those types of finishes.
No, you really, this isn't the area for those types of finishes. They usually go to higher income homes.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. So it's a more depressed market
yeah,
here.
this is
occasional.
It's not real popular.
Yeah. And then American Clay, where did you learn your chops with American? And just for clarification too, Variants acrylic finish systems, acrylic base, plaster looking finish, very shiny, very pretty. American Clay is like earthen. Because explain the difference between a Variants and American Clay.
Well, the Variants is just, it's not, they have like eight different systems.
Okay.
You even have some exterior.
Right.
You know, I've never messed with any of the exterior. I just stayed on the inside. But they have Alto, they have Clado, Omnicoat, Tierra, and then Brio, which is their version of Venetian plaster, the real high gloss, shiny, which was probably my favorite. And then American Clay, I'm not so sure if they got more than one type of product. I only used one. We did what was the name of that hotel? Choco Hotel. Yeah. We did a lot of it there, and the basic technique, just a different material, 2-coat system. And
did you like applying the
American Clay? I did like it. I liked it actually more than the Variants.
Okay.
Because you put a base coat on, and then you have another material you put over the top of it. It's a thin.
Okay.
The first coat is thick. It's pretty heavy. You know, you don't try and get it like super smooth. Second coat is thin. It's pretty smooth, and then as it's drying, you just take a water bottle and water it down and work it with a trowel, and that's it.
And no sealer, no.
No. None of them. The only one like sometimes with the Venetian plaster, you could put a sealer on it. Like if you're going to do in a bathroom or a kitchen where you might get water.
Okay.
You know, it adds a little bit of extra protection. But none of those finishes require a sealer.
And that was for Century as well, when you learned the American Clay.
No. Well, actually, no. That was for another company.
That was for another company?
Yeah.
Which company?
That was called...
Was it Pelletier?
Pelletier, thank you.
Okay.
I was drawing a blank there. I was trying to forget them.
Trying to forget them. And you didn't have a good experience with the drywall companies here in New Mexico. You were kind of like the gringo, out floating in the river all by yourself.
The only one.
No buddies to speak of.
Just remember old John Clem. He was the only other white guy.
And John.
He worked at Century.
John worked for Fresco Harmony for about a year. This guy and I were like oil and water. He was like the worst employee. And it wasn't that he was bad. He just was like super disgruntled, could care less about what I was up to. Never worked. It wasn't going to work.
That was a horrible mistake.
It was all right for what it was, but he just, man, we did not get along. He was just such a jerk. And I have no clue why I kept him on for so long, but it is what it is. So John worked for Century. He was the only other white guy. So that sort of rubbed you the wrong way. You being sort of the only sort of gringo.
You get tired. I just got tired of the communication.
Yeah.
Problem.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I felt I shouldn't have to learn another language.
Right. Heavy Hispanic influence here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, obviously. But so you learn a couple of these different finishes. So you have a little bit of a background when you finally came across the Fresco Harmony advertisement on Craigslist. And so...
right. That's probably... if I didn't, I probably wouldn't have responded.
Right. Yeah. And then I remember, I had such a hard time letting Jack... I think I remember first couple of jobs I really had a hard time letting you go, on your own. Sure. And then I was very micromanaging about. And for reference too, I had never. Is there a delay on that? It's weird, huh? I had never. You were the first person that I had hired that did Fresco, that I let do it. Sure. I had a hard time.
Yeah, you had your way, and it's hard.
I had my way, and it was hard to let go of that way.
Right.
And tell me about your experience when you first started out with Fresco Harmony.
Jeez, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a bit ago.
I think the first wall you showed me was a swirl wall.
Yeah.
Which I like. That's my favorite. And I was like, that is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And Jack's pretty good with the swirl. Of the people that have swirled that I've seen, you've got a pretty
Don't
good
do it.
technique.
I'd be a lot better if I do more of it.
Yeah. Yeah. We'd have some swirl coming up. I got another swirl job for you, bud. Feinberg Sapphire with gold swirl.
It's hard to beat that. That's a good looking one.
Mel's son,
bathroom.
Actually. Nah, it's like a accent wall. Small, minimum bid job. But cool. And so you came and you worked for me, and we worked together for quite a while. 9 years. Still working together. Quiet cat.
Cat on the set.
Cat on the set. He's loud and obnoxious. So fast forward to today, I guess. You've been working with Fresco Harmony for quite a while. Tell me your experience of Fresco Harmony, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. You're familiar with these different plaster techniques. You've done a crap load of Fresco Harmony. Tell me why you think it's a good product or why you think it's not that good a product. Go.
It's horrible.
Freely. Speak freely.
Stay away. No.
Stay away. Save yourself.
I like it because you go right over existing texture.
Right.
With the other systems, you do have to smooth out your walls and prime it.
And those systems have specific primers, right, that you have to use?
They sell their own primer,
but
but I go to Home Depot and buy a cheap primer.
Okay.
Tinted.
You tint
it's
it.
Fine. Yeah.
You tint it. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of tinting it? Just to get close to the color you're using?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It looks more professional.
Sure. Sure. Put it in a different container.
Yeah.
Dump it into an old variant.
This is some
container.
real special stuff I got right here.
I paid $150 for this. Yeah. So, and then cost, I would assume, so there's there's an expense factor there as well.
Well, Fresco is a lot cheaper.
It's a lot cheaper on the whole.
Yeah.
Cheaper, easy to use.
So.
Go right over your existing stuff.
Go right over the existing. The other textures are more smooth.
They're more smooth. And shiny. You like the shiny.
I like the shiny. Like I just did probably 2,000 feet of the shiny. And I did a bedroom, which I had to spend 5 days getting it smooth first.
Okay. Like you get a Fresco.
You know, it was a hard bedroom. Bonos
Okay.
everywhere, nichos around the doors, windows. It was a hard job.
So if you're getting a job ready for plaster, how do you smooth it out? Do you do like the same base coat as Fresco Harmony, or do you pull it smoother?
No, basically the same
base coat.
2 coats.
Okay.
Yeah, and then give it a light sanding afterwards,
Okay.
and then I quickly roll primer over it.
And the
then
primer helps your acrylic.
If you don't
stick.
use the primer, it just won't stick.
It won't stick.
With the primer, it just slides right on there, and you get rid of that chalkiness.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
with sand.
Yeah, with the
because you
sand.
got to sand it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It
though,
won't stick.
The Fresco Harmony sealer will stick to the chalky sand. That's an acrylic product. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, they have a Venetian top coat, which is same thing as yours.
Yeah.
You know,
Like Modern Math? Not the Modern Math.
it's. I don't even know if they make that still.
like
do they?
Armor Tone. Or
But,
the
I don't know what they call it.
Variants has a top coat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing.
It's the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different container.
Yeah, a clear top coat.
Mm-hmm.
Clear acrylic, basically. But it's interesting. That stuff sticks to the drywall, chalky drywall, but the colored like acrylic system doesn't.
Yeah, you'll go over it fine, and then every once in a while it'll just start to kind of peel, you know, on the dusty areas.
Yeah.
I mean, you could wipe it down, broom it, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
probably be okay. But I like to prime it. They recommend priming.
Yeah. And then
Gives
what
it a little stronger.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
for
paint
sure.
surface.
And then the boxing. How did you get? We'll change directions a little bit. How did you
That's a
do?
180.
It's a little bit. we brought up the boxing before. How did you get into boxing? And you box still to this day.
I wish.
But you train, right?
I started off when I was a wee little guy in judo,
Oh, okay.
and then
I didn't realize you've been doing it for that long.
I was, a little tiny,
Yeah.
and then we moved here, and there was
But I thought you were from here. No? Where are you from originally?
Idaho.
Idaho. Oh, okay. That's right. You've taken some
I
trips.
came down here in like my senior year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 91, I believe.
Yeah. Well, you do got me by a couple of years, buddy. Now you're aging yourself.
But I was a genius, and I graduated when I was 14.
Sure. So that helped.
Yeah.
So you were
What was I
doing.
saying?
We were talking about jiu-jitsu. You
Oh.
started out doing jiu-jitsu.
And then I loved to watch boxing on TV, and so I got it. There was a little school, little boxing gym, and I got into that a little bit. I hated training.
Yeah.
I just wanted to punch people.
Yeah.
So I would say it's more recreational than hardcore training.
Yeah.
They would never let me fight or anything because they said I haven't put in the time to train.
Oh, all right.
So I did a couple of tough man contests. Excuse me.
Okay.
And I started off in kickboxing. Did I say that? Kickboxing school here?
No.
That's how I started off.
Okay.
Kickboxing.
You're doing at a young age. You're doing jiu-jitsu, and then when you moved down here, you started kickboxing.
And then I was like, yeah.
Was it like Jackson's or something? I mean,
It was,
dude, if you don't know, too, Albuquerque's kind of a mecca for
this
MMA.
is, yeah,
mixed
this was
martial
way
arts.
before MMA.
That took off and got
Yeah.
cool.
This was 91.
But there's probably still some good clubs here in Albuquerque. I mean, if MMA took off the way it did in Albuquerque,
Oh, there's really, I'll say one thing for Albuquerque, has very good training,
good training.
fighting.
Good fighting training. Okay.
Yeah, top notch. Compete with any school in the world, really.
Okay.
But yeah, I always loved martial arts. So I did some kickboxing, did some boxing, and then I went to a Brazilian jiu-jitsu school, and I really enjoyed that a lot. Did a few tournaments in Vegas, a couple local, and just on and off a little bit.
Okay.
So it was fun.
Yeah. And
I don't do it near as much as I used to.
You do it a little bit now. So.
I lost contact with all my buddies. We had a group. Yeah.
All right.
I had to eliminate them from my lives.
Yeah. How come? What happened?
They were bad people.
What was wrong with them?
Bad influence.
Bad influences.
Yeah.
And then you, so what does the future hold for Jack? You've got all this background, and then we were talking before the interview, you've been dabbling a little bit with trading, like doing investment trading or the stock market.
I'm getting way too old. I can't keep this up, so
yeah.
hopefully this is the last year.
Well, you've dabbled a little bit with mobile home, sort of real estate speculation, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
What's the story
Buying and
there?
selling mobile homes.
Yeah.
It's a tough business.
That's a tough one.
Tough.
Low margin.
You got a lot of work for low margin.
Lot of work. Yeah.
So won't do that no more.
Yeah. But the
right now it's
why the stock market though? What attracted you to the stock market?
Not going anywhere.
Yeah.
In the morning.
Yeah.
You just get up, have your coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
Sit down, look at the market, see how it's doing. 2 hours max.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the day is yours to do whatever.
Then you're done.
Yeah. So hopefully, if all things go well, you make a little bit of money, and the rest of the day is yours.
What's a best day for Jack on the stock market? What do we got?
Well,
What are we looking at?
I'm still doing some
novice.
construction work, so
Yeah.
I have not attained my goals yet.
Okay.
Right now,
What's your goals?
make a lot of money
Make a lot of money.
where I don't have to
Okay.
do work.
Here's a hypothetical. Let's
How
say
much is
you
a
had
lot of money?
No, let's say you had $1 million. $1 million.
Yes,
What would you do?
I would put it into my trading account.
Okay. Yeah, but then you would have enough money, you could do whatever you want.
With $1 million,
Sure.
I'd probably be broke in 10 years.
You wouldn't even need to trade if you had $1 million, right?
No, you'd spend it. You'd piss it all away.
Buy some real estate.
You'd buy a house, a couple of dumbass cars, and then like everybody else that you see, celebrities and athletes making all these $1 million, and
Spend it
then
all.
later on they're down and out.
And then down on their luck.
Whatever.
Blow on it a little bit. Okay, so we got $1 million.
We'd be moving to Idaho,
Okay, Idaho.
Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Okay, you get to Idaho. Then what? You gotta have a boat, right?
Get a little boat,
Yeah.
boat on a house on the lake,
House on the lake.
and spend all my time fishing,
Boating.
and skiing in the winter.
And skiing. You like skiing?
I used to.
It's pretty good.
I kind of got out of it.
Fair enough. All right. One thing I do ask all of the guests that come on the podcast. Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
What is it? What
I'm
is it,
like,
Jack? What do I ask? What do I-
Give some pearl of wisdom
A pearl
to
of-
everybody.
a pearl of wisdom to our wonderful drywall community. What would it be?
And I should be prepared because
Nah.
I knew this question, but I'm not.
You've thought about it though. You've listened to some podcasts. How many podcasts have you listened to now?
Probably 9 or 10.
You've listened to more than that.
The last
9 or
one-
10?
Well, I skipped ahead. Jumped ahead, and you talked to a kid out of Canada.
Yeah.
He was a young guy. That was the last one I
couple
listened to.
Canadians. Oh yeah.
And then one before that, the guy designed some light sanders.
Oh yeah. Spice Sponge. Yep. by a sponge. Pearl of wisdom. Go. From the great Jack Smothers.
If you don't have a passion for it, get out of the business. Why?
Don't waste your time.
Why?
Why?
I've never really had a big passion for construction.
Yeah.
I think you work too hard.
Yeah.
Work too hard.
Yeah. And you're not alone, dude. You're not alone.
It hurts my feelings seeing these 65-year-olds out there still busting their butt, because they didn't do anything else,
Yeah, but some of them don't mind it. They don't mind getting out there busting their home.
Keeps them kind of in shape, because it is a little bit of exercise.
It's exercise.
Yeah.
But the main point being, if you're not passionate about it, get out. Go find something that you are passionate about.
Yeah, look for something that you really love.
I like that.
And
heck yeah.
I was guilty of that, because I can't, as like a drifter, I was like, oh, I don't know what I want to do, so I'll just do drywall because I know how to do it.
Yeah.
It pays the bills.
You have some regret around that.
So.
Yeah. You have a little regret.
Well, my friends at the time, I had several roommates, and I was doing drywall, and they were working in restaurants, and I was laughing at them.
Yeah.
Suckers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they married doctors.
Okay.
And now they're got $1 million homes.
Okay, so follow your passion or find yourself a sugar mama
Yeah.
or daddy.
I'm still like, argh.
Yeah.
Nah, I think I'm happier than them.
Yeah.
They have more money, but I'm happier. I'm
doing
really happy right now.
You're doing okay, Jack. Jack.
I just like to complain.
Jack Smothers. No, he doesn't. Jack is, if I could say something, he gets tremendous compliments from all of the clients that we do business with. They all love dealing with Jack.
I am pretty likable.
He shows up every day. He does amazing work, and he's pretty pleasant to be around. We've had a long run, man. 9 years. That's nothing to sneeze at, dude. That's a long time. This guy's laid down.
Doesn't seem that long.
This guy's laid down a lot of colored mud. He's got the broken shoulder to attest.
No more ceilings.
No more ceilings.
No more ceilings.
No more driving to Santa Fe.
No more Santa Fe. Just air-conditioned jobs, please.
Cool. Jack Smothers of Fresco Harmony with us today on the Drywall Podcast. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll keep you posted.
All your pleasure.
Yeah, we'll we'll keep you posted on Jack's endeavors in the stock market and moving up to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and sowing his oats up there one day. Special thanks to Jack Smothers for being with us on the Drywall Podcast today. I appreciate it, and I know our listeners appreciate it as well. This month's episodes are brought to you by GWI, supplying the UK with drywall finishing products since 2021, delivering quality brands nationwide. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, or online at www.gwyltd.com for all your finishing needs. Speaking of GWI, those cool cats are now selling Fresco Harmony. Who would have thought? And yours truly will be flying over the Great Pond to do a training in Swindon, England, sometime in early September. Please stay tuned for details on that. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can catch new episodes of the Drywall Podcast every Friday on your favorite stations, such as Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and also YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us on the Drywall Podcast today. If you have questions or concerns, anything, you can reach out to me at info@frescoharmony.com.
drywall.com. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and remember, keep drywalling.